Hello, and welcome to Dire Bear. It's Tuesday night, so of course that means we're playing Valley by Night River City, our Vampire 5th
Fellow
Edition actual
machine.
play. We're back after, did we decide it was 3 weeks we've missed?
I think it was 3 weeks.
Something like
Yeah.
that. Unfortunate sicknesses and health issues, and hopefully we're all back. Well, we've got somebody running late, but eventually we should all be back tonight.
That time of year.
Yep. So I will be your storyteller for the evening, Jason, and with me is Duba playing Walter, Sarah playing Emma, Jeremy playing Egidio, and Rappy playing Iola. Ignore the fact that she's in Kyle's window right now.
She's subletting.
All right. Now, Duba and Rappy were not here
For a very long
last week.
So that's yeah.
But I am sure that Sarah and Jeremy remember exactly how we wrapped up.
Sure, one thing after the other.
We went to that bridge.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle and Agidi were already across the bridge.
Yeah, they had gotten stranded over the day before.
Yeah, they'd gotten stranded over there. Some of the barons decided, hey, we're going to go over there. And we found them mid-gunfight, and it's like, oh, there's the idiots. There's my idiots.
Tipped off by an explosion.
Yeah, explosions, gunfight, general, chaos that seems to precede and follow our group.
All right.
Then we were driving. I think we were driving off at that point.
Yeah, we wrapped the session with everybody having met back up, and you were headed back to your domain.
Yeah, because Kyle's like, I still have that meeting I need to go to.
You had pretty well whipped the people you were fighting. Several of them were dead. Some of them had simply been set on fire or freaked out by the fire and run off, kind of thing.
Getting the jump on them helps.
But they had a lot of backup on the way. For all intents and purposes, both baronies, both of those outer baronies on the east side of town, have basically fallen to the cam. Egidio, I believe you did see, when you were doing some scouting out earlier in the session, just to remind you, you did see the guy they had put in charge of that north section hanging out with some of the cam guys. Where they had lost their baron previously.
Egidio was also not possessed, but had a ghostly passenger. I think
Another one.
Another one.
That was the session before that, though.
Yeah, because the day him and Kyle spent would have ended that position.
Okay, I couldn't remember if it ended or not. But that's also a thing that happened while they were gone.
Yes. He didn't exactly make peace with the ghost in his house, but they had come to some sort of at least short term.
Went on a field trip.
Compromise.
Come to an accord. I'll keep working at it. It's fine.
If you survive.
I mean, we're already driving back, so.
Hey, and we got Vancouver by Night in the chat.
Howdy.
Vancouver.
Thanks for stopping by.
You missed me singing in Spanish to the ghost.
Yeah, Rappy missed that.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
You should do it again, Sally, because I'm here now.
Well, we'll see.
But all right, but y'all had headed back. I forget who all was with you. I think you had a smattering of people that worked with the other barons.
Yeah, just had a conglomerate of extra hands.
I can't remember if any actual barons came.
I doubt it.
Yeah, that I don't remember. I know a couple of them sent representatives. And I think you had a couple members of the pact that rolled out with you.
Yeah.
Some of your own security people. Though you did not strip your barony You didn't completely strip it.
Yeah.
Of course, technically, I guess Walter and Iola were still there too. So. But yeah, so you get back to your domain. Everybody kind of, everybody kind of splits off. The Baron's chat's been lit up. There didn't seem to that night there was not any. There didn't seem to be any more pushes into the main part of the city.
Mm-hmm. The studio would have said something to the effect of like, there was a party foul, everyone had to leave.
Yeah. Definitely some, coded messages about, the Barons and to have some kind of meetup.
Yeah.
All right. So y'all get back to y'all's domain. The night is still relatively young. Like we mentioned, Kyle has got a meeting he is supposed to be going to.
I'd assume he'd probably break off to do that.
As you're driving through the parking lot of the mall, headed over to the office, let's say, in front of the dead man's drink, there is a very, I don't know if scruffy is the right word. He's dressed kind of scruffy. But he has the stare he gives you as you drive by is sort of predatory and freaks you out a little bit. And you can see that everybody that's eating in the outside area at the dead man's have given him a lot of space. And there's maybe not as many customers as there were. Or as they usually would be. And
Did
then,
you ever get a description of the old man?
I would assume that Kyle at least has a description of him.
Okay.
So yeah, basically as soon as you get to the office, everybody's make sure everybody's okay. Kyle breaks off. He needs to go talk to somebody.
Have fun. Don't die.
I don't
Or
know
if
if
you
he would
do,
make
at
any
least make a
promises,
big
but I
stink
won't
about
make
it.
I won't make any promises.
This would be like a good time for like one of us just to get killed off, but let's not.
Just won't show up the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Or they show up and
I'll play
they get to play Miles or Ada or somebody.
I'll play Kincaid.
Dibs on one of the brute squad.
So anyway, y'all are back at the office.
Putting money down on him having to go the scruffy looking guy in front of the dead man being the person he's going to talk to, or someone else.
A fair bet. I don't make fair bets.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
But I believe we have spotted the cause of the outer baronies going quiet.
Yeah. What? Yeah, because Emma wouldn't have saw that. What do you mean?
There is a traitor in our midst.
And they're probably well protected now. Sack of.
Yeah.
It was off on like several different colorful words.
Yeah, they were pretty chummy. I'll show them what we do to traitors back home.
Did I ever give you that fellow's name?
No. I feel like I should know that name, though.
Yeah, we probably would have known it, if nothing else, just because they were the replacement.
Just checking my most recent couple of sheets to make sure I didn't write something down.
He's like, he's not in the group chat, is he?
He probably would have been, because he would be the newest Baron.
Emma is going to quickly make a new party chat. Like, hey, old one had an issue. Let's use this one going forward. Contact me if you need any of the juicy gossip.
His name is Creed Matthews.
That skank ass hoe.
He was the previous Baron's right-hand man. That's, basically why he got put in charge. Yes, he already kind of knew the running of the area, and Now, of course, it makes you wonder if that's how they found the previous Baron so easily.
It is
Yeah.
a consideration. Everyone, look to your right-hand man. Make sure they're not your traitor.
Who's y'all's right-hand man? Miles or
Yeah.
Ada?
I mean, we already know Ada would put a knife in Emma's shoulder blades if she could.
Well, you are the boogeyman.
Yeah,
Boogie person, whatever.
I am the boogie.
Up drop the boogie.
I was just
Thank
thinking
you.
that.
I was thinking it too, but I'm like, I can't remember exactly.
So you get several messages back almost immediately. What's wrong with the old one?
I'll outright say I'll do not unlike how people do nowadays when they're catty and change out a group. And I'll say something to the effect of like, I saw what's his name I saw him at a bar and he was saying some really vile shit and I had to not be in that group anymore. I have to not be in that group anymore and
Can't associate with him anymore.
can't associate with them. It's become a little problematic in my eyes.
He's being canceled.
Yeah.
Maddox gets on there and basically his response is basically Creed with a question mark.
Yeah, that's the one.
And then basically his response after that is, God damn it, August, that was your idea.
Damn cat and dog.
Now, while best you can remember, that probably was August's ideal. You don't remember anybody else having any real objections to it.
No one else had a better idea.
Right, basically.
Yeah. It seemed like a good idea at the time, kind of thing.
Sure.
The way it's kind of out there on its own, it wasn't convenient for anybody else to take it over in addition to what they already had. So, But as the night progresses, you get messengers flying back and forth because the barons would like to meet, but now tonight is not probably a good night to all be in one.
Tomorrow night could be worse.
There's some considering you apparently had a traitor in your midst. There's some safety concerns about all being in one spot and using the tech. So they have dropped back to the old style couriers. So you have people from the various other baronies, popping in throughout the night to let you know.
Emma will make sure to stay at the office to catch any messages and send any if she needs to.
So several of them come by to confirm that obviously they picked up that Creed was a traitor in some way. People come by and get the details for that.
Egidio will dish.
Here's the tea.
And they agree that's pretty, it's pretty damning.
Yeah.
They wonder if he was always a plant, or if they just got to him and bribed him, or convinced him that the anarch cause was going to lose. Or...
It'd be coerced, but not anything in our hands anymore.
No, pretty much dead when we find him.
I'm glad we have that agreement.
Torture first, and then dead.
Oh, what's more torturous than seeing the sun?
Some people aspire to that. See if he's reached Gokanda.
One of the messengers that's in the room kind of gives you a look when you start talking about Gokanda.
I give them.
She's had a long night. She's like, "Oh, come on, you've all heard that rumor."
It's been a long couple of nights.
This week has lasted a whole month.
That's a mood on many levels.
So while you're dealing with, all these different messengers coming and going.
I think after the third or fourth one, Egidio just leaves a notebook with like the key points for Emma, and it's like, all right, I have to go.
Yeah, if anything goes sideways or any new information comes up, I'll have you send you a message just to drop by.
Myself.
I'm remarkably good at it.
Buena suerte, and he takes off. Anyway, continue.
As you're leaving the office, you run into Furman.
Furman?
Everybody's favorite little thin blood.
Furman, you a traitor?
So, Egidio has opened the door, and Furman's just standing there reaching for the doorknob. He hears Emma say this further into the building. He's like, what?
Being a smartass, it's been a long night. Come on in.
Nappy Furman?
He's looking for one he did. I'm sorry, Barry and Luna. What was that?
Can I help you, Furman? You are frazzled.
I think we got some trouble.
We always have trouble. Please continue. Come inside.
He steps inside, shut the door.
Close the door.
There seems to be a lot of activity going on over in Moulton.
Okay.
Just to remind you, Moulton's the next decent-sized town. I use the term decent-sized town very loosely.
Yeah.
But it's across the board, Decatur's in Morgan County, it's across the border in Lawrence County. Lawrence County is more rural in general.
Yep.
Moulton is smaller than Decatur, but it's the county seat and whatnot. And it's already come up that it's cam controlled. It's where Sammy was claiming to be from.
Okay. And
what kind of activity?
They're building up their forces and getting ready to make some kind of move. I've got, one of my folks still has people they know over that way.
Can this person be trusted?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we couldn't convince them to betray their folks over there, but we've got a little bit of dirt on them, so
Oh, are they the contingent of Thin Blood on the other side?
Well, no. Okay, so Andy Huber, I don't know if y'all have met him in person or not. He's one of us. He gestured to himself. He's one of the one of our Thin Blood. Well, it was a relative of his that turned him. Wasn't really supposed to. But that's not general knowledge out that way. So, both to, I guess, help keep Andy alive or whatever. But also, so none of us rat him out to get him in any trouble. He's been keeping Andy kind of up to date on, the goings on over in Moulton. Now, Andy's cousin isn't, he's young. He's not in a position of power. He doesn't know any of that kind of going on. He just knows word on the street stuff.
Word on the street's important.
But everybody is calling in, all their little flunkies and fledglings and whatnot. And we kind of figured they're going to head this way.
Specifically here.
Well, Decatur.
Okay.
I mean, us and I guess Clint would be the logical places to get it first. Maybe the pack if they swing down low. But...
They are still in a awkward position, being surrounded at all ends by us.
Who's that now?
Well, most ends now. The cam.
Oh, well, the cam in the center of town. Yeah.
It would be unwise for them to store up anything.
Yeah, but if Moulton hit us from one side, and you got the hospital full there, I don't know. I just thought y'all needed to know.
No,
I do appreciate that. That is good information to have.
Gonna try and pinch us.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get this passed on.
Yeah.
Would he be favorable to being contacted by anyone aside from you, or is that a big no?
If there was an Austin in the room, it's probably a bad idea.
Andy or Andy's cousin over in Moulton?
The thin blood that they're getting the info from.
Oh no, Andy would come talk to y'all. I mean, he lives in the domain. Well, now that y'all have expanded the domain into those neighborhoods over there. So yeah, I mean, he'd be willing to come talk to you. But
if he knows any more particulars, that would be great. Or if he could get any more particulars without causing himself, to become suspicious or danger.
Mm-hmm. Well, him and his cousin have talked via the, phones, internet stuff.
That's very.
I've stressed to him how.
Yeah.
Careful to code things.
Double stress that with them because, yeah. I think there may have been treachery because of our looseness with technology recently.
Oh, that's not good. Somebody here in the domain?
Just in general.
A bunch of somebodies.
Was it Kincaid?
No, it wasn't Kincaid.
Hello.
Oh, we have a Kyle.
Hi there.
We have a Kyle.
One moment while we get you in here.
We have the name of the trader.
I don't have Zoom up. Do you want me to get Zoom up?
Oh, yeah, if you would.
Yeah, I just got home. It ran a little longer than I thought. Now, what were you saying, Sarah? Sorry.
We have the name of the trader. It was
Trader?
the right hand. It was the right hand man of the Baron of the one of the outer baronies that was helping the cam. We've made a new group chat for the barons, and Furman has come by and let us know a fellow thin blood acquaintance has information that Decatur forces are rallying.
Moulton.
Not Decatur, Moulton.
Well,
Okay.
I think you have that information.
Kyle doesn't know this, but
He does not. Was Kyle healed?
we can say sure.
You had some time driving back.
Yeah, I'll roll it real quick.
Okay. Because, I'll absolutely go to a meeting with werewolves beat all to shit.
That seems like a horrible idea.
I'll still do it. If you didn't have time to do it, then you didn't have time to do it.
It's been a hot minute. I gotta relook up my powers.
I'm still in a hoodie because I haven't had time to change.
Dropping 20 degrees by the end of the session.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to die.
The arthritis just eats you from
Hey,
the
and
inside
everybody
out.
popped into the right spots.
Got it
That's
in one.
rare.
Very
Okay.
rare.
The end is nigh.
Uh-huh.
There are 2 more sessions after this, so yeah, you're not wrong.
Well, tonight is the end is nigh. And then next week is, get in a night part 1 and get in a night part 2 will be after that.
Yep.
Not at all. Ominous.
No.
Hmm.
All right, so did you manage to heal Kyle up some?
I had to look and see what dice I needed. I'm sorry. 1
Oh,
second.
no problem. No problem.
My brain's
Like I said,
running on like 30% power.
I'm fine with saying that she didn't have time to do it, and I'll just
No.
go to a meeting with wolves, beat the fuck up.
Respectfully, no.
Not even disrespectfully. No. And I'm using a scene to do it essentially, and that was
We'll count the drive back to the domain as a scene.
7 successes, so 6. And I'll link it in here so you can see how much you healed.
Mhm. You said 7 total?
7 total.
Add graded health damage level for every 3 successes in the margin.
So 2 aggravated health.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that helps. Now, the important thing that they left out, Kyle, was as y'all were cutting through the parking lot, there was a very scruffily dressed old man with a very predatory stare standing out in front of the dead man's drink.
Oh yeah, that little detail.
Turning to watch as y'all drove by. You notice all the customers that were eating the outside area were giving him a lot of space.
Okay.
You recognize his description. That was probably Old Montgomery.
Fun.
All
So
kinds of meetings.
when they got back to the office, we basically just said Kyle had to go talk to somebody. Split.
Mm-hmm. Because he did. But who is he talking to first?
We mostly said bye, don't fucking die.
Yeah, pretty much.
Did they leave him at the bar?
No, we all
No,
dropped
they
off at
all
the
traveled
office
to
and
the.
split from there.
Yeah, you split from the office. So you
The
just have to
office,
cut back
okay.
across the parking lot.
All right. Well, since Old Montgomery is there already, and he hasn't heard from Brain. It's been a hot minute. What was the werewolf's name?
Ryan?
I don't think it was Ryan. Ryder. That was it.
Yeah, you're right.
He hasn't heard from Ryder yet saying he's there. He'll go talk to Old Montgomery.
Yeah, he's still standing there, just watches you walk up.
Mm-hmm. Would you like to talk in my office?
He looks at the building inside. Very well. I think I'm scaring the prey out here anyway.
And he'll lead him inside. Take a seat in the office. So,
Your manager's just sitting there watching y'all walk by.
yeah. So I was told I needed to get in contact with you about something some wolves told me.
Oh, what wolves have you been talking to?
What other wolves are there?
Some people
Granted.
call us that. I assume this has to do with the ones that were fooling around the hospital a couple of weeks back.
Yes, them. That was an interesting fight. One of them mentioned that I had honor.
Oh. Yeah, they're big on that.
And I'm not sure what that means. I brought it up to the other barons of our clan, and they said to talk to you because you'd probably have the knowledge that we didn't.
Yeah, they rank themselves by honor. They have this whole system. I don't know all the details of it. You must have done right by them. You must have impressed them.
Well, I led a hunting pack of them into the city to go find one of their own, so.
Well, it explains why you were deep in Cam territory.
That's why that fight happened. It was interesting.
I can imagine.
Is there any significance to their howls?
About the same as with the wolves, I guess. They can signal a few things. I don't know that they can carry on conversations that way. If you hang around them long enough, you start to pick up on somewhat what it is.
Well, I was able to talk to them when they were in their lupine form.
Yeah, if you can speak
I
to normal
know-
wolves, you can usually do that.
I know one howl they summoned, or they called more of themselves. It was a pack of 5 or 6, I believe. The part that stuck with me was when we were charging the cam, attacking the young werewolf. I was kind of caught in the moment. I was in my wolf form. I howled at them, and then they all joined in.
Oh, that probably wasn't nothing more than people yelling yeehaw as they get into a fight.
Fair enough. I just wasn't sure if there's any meaning behind it.
You're going to be hard pressed to find any of us that know that for sure. I used to play around with trying to befriend some of them or ally with them. Worked for a little while, but the older we get, the less they tend to like us. We don't smell right, I guess.
Yeah, the taint of the worm, they call it.
Yeah. I guess they think we got the devil in us or something.
Could be.
Could be they're right.
From what little I could understand, at least from them talking while I was just there, apparently the worm is this thing that they're dedicated to combating. That's kind of like the purpose of their existence.
Yeah, they're kind of like inquisitors. The worm is their devil. I'm sure there's more to it than that.
Yeah.
Not trying to be insensitive.
Nah.
But I just don't know the details of their religion.
That's fair.
But yeah, the worm is basically all they think is wrong with the world.
That would explain their odd reaction then.
To what?
Well, they apparently had sensed it in me for a little while. But I had asked them if there was a way to free myself of it. To not be chained down by this thing that apparently controlled me.
He gives you kind of a skeptical look. If you're getting your hopes up that the wolves could make you mortal again, just put that at it again.
I know there's no way for me to be mortal again. It's more of I hate the thought of being tied down and chained to something. If they said something doing so, I wanted to know how to fight it.
I don't know. I don't know what it is they think they sense in us. Because they sense it in most of us, but not all of us.
Well, from context clues, I was able to discern. I believe it has something to do with how much of our, for lack of a better term, how much of our humanity remains.
Maybe I've never known any of them to like the more bestial ones of us.
So I know one member of our coterie. She's more bestial than the rest of us are, and the one wolf there that could sense it, the second he got eyes on her, he charged. But they didn't sense anything in others of us. So it could be that.
Might be how much a beast is in control.
I say it's mostly just context clues I picked up just through our interactions. I have no concrete evidence.
Yeah, got to be careful with them too. Even if some of them think you're at least passably all right, somebody higher ranking in their society could come through and not like you.
Yeah. I know it's a double-edged sword I'm playing with. Actually have a meeting with one later tonight. With everything going on with the cam, the fact they're getting assistance from outside the city, I'm
I've kind of expected them to make some kind of push like that.
I'm hoping, although I'm not going to put all my eggs in that basket, if I can maybe point the wolves in that direction, hit the reinforcements coming from outside the city, and cut off the extra flow of soldiers while we attack them from inside. It wouldn't put them off edge because the one I talked to, they don't like being in the city. So it wouldn't have them in the city fighting, and it wouldn't be near us anarchs. So we wouldn't run the risk of them attacking us while we're combating the camp within the city. But if they cut off the reinforcements,
that might work. They do tend to like a good fight. I think that's how they build up their reputation amongst themselves. You'd have to know where the cam were to allow to allow them to hit them.
I know where one route came from. I had some ravens follow them. Whether or not they're going to still come through that area, considering they've effectively pushed us anarchs out of those outer baronies right now. I don't know if they'll still be there or still be using that route. But it is the one that I know of.
All right. So he proceeds to give you a few hints, avoid talking about this.
Mm-hmm.
Ways to try not to offend him when you talk to him.
Okay.
Meanwhile, we're going to cut back to the office. Walter, what have you been doing this past night or two? We've just said you were kind of, in your lair, kind of organizing all the NOS in the area, checking surveillance cameras, keeping up the security. But you've gotten all these texts about Traitor in the Midst and, the new chat group.
Once he gets that data about the potential traitor, he'll start pulling up any data logs of any barony of any of the barons he can to see if there's something he can thumb through, such as like anything that looks like potential deals or something of that caliber, if that's something he has access to. So it's trying to piece things together and mainly just wanting to see if there might be signs if he can find another one, if there is more than one.
Okay. This would involve you talking to Nos more spread out through the city than just in your domain.
Yeah, he just kind of reaches feelers out and just be like, can anyone kind of give me little tidbits on things they've seen, things they know, yeah.
Right.
That is if they're willing to, if they feel like if that there'd be too much risk to give off that information, then he's not going to press the issue. He would just make sure to make them understand, like, well, if you do know something, please say something, because we've already found one's been found. There's no telling how many more we have.
All right. Give me. Let's see. Might be persuasion. Or streetwise. Well, streetwise is more knowledge of what's going on. This is you. Persuasion or investigate, whichever one you'd rather do. And your manipulation.
Okay, I'll do investigation and manipulation. Let's see. Three successes.
3? Okay.
Mhm.
So you start going through video footage. You got other people going through video footage. They're sending you stuff. You're sending them stuff. Y'all are just all swapping notes. You're using VPNs and onion servers and encrypting stuff. So you're not having to be quite as careful about coding them. Using safe phrases.
Yeah, because we're covering our tracks as we do it.
Right. And they start piecing together. You find out several of the Nos throughout the city will have somebody they pay attention to. So you get lots of footage they've collected of like some of the barons moving around, or at least their vehicles. Not like they're tracking them step by step or anything, but and they find several. I'll say several. They have found where several times some of the barons have gone, or their vehicle had gone over to the outer baronies. Now they did lose track of them over there because on the west side of town, there on the other side of the wildlife refuge, the area is not as built up, not as much surveillance cameras. We got a branded heart in the chat.
That's me.
Never mind it.
Well, I saw Vancouver by night. It's
they dropped by fairly early.
Yeah.
What was I saying? Oh, yeah. So they've seen August's car go out that way several times. Not like in the last night or two. I mean, not since the stuff's been hitting the fan. But he's been out that way. They've seen evidence of. I don't know her name. What was it?
Also, thanks for that follow, by the way, Mira Ocelot.
Oh yes, I just saw that. Josephine, that was her name. The lady that runs the Princess and the Opera House. Josephine Reinhardt. But they'd seen her head out that way, within the last week or so. They also send you a vehicle that the person that sends it to you isn't sure who it is. It's just it's kind of a fancy car, so it caught their attention.
Mm-hmm.
To you, it looks like Woodard's car.
Hmm.
It's not like a full-on, overly stretched limousine, but it's one of those kind of a little bit longer than
What it should be.
Yeah. Maybe it's a limousine instead of a stretched limo.
Like a lot of those Walters, like got a little notebook. He's just jotting stuff down as he's like watching videos and.
I'm just picturing with all this computer equipment, people sitting here, and then he's just making his personal notes in a notepad.
Basically. It's like, all right, time to get some highlights for the group.
I know my handwriting is so bad that nobody but me will be able to read this.
What's this? You can't read my handwriting? Well, yes, I write in wingdings. Good luck.
You ever tried to translate hand-drawn wingdings?
I can only imagine the agony that is. The look on his face.
So anyway, that's some of the information you're getting. And some of them are manning cameras that are looking into the Camaria's territory, and they seem to have some extra. The last couple of nights, they seem to have had some extra security around the both hospitals, around the courthouse. Around the kind of their positions of power. It's like the guys in the center of town have forted up while the reinforcements are hitting you off on the outside. Iola.
Yes.
What have you been doing tonight while they were running over to fetch Kyle and the GTO?
Probably would have went with them if she was nearby.
Sarah, Jeremy, do either one of you remember what we said Iola was doing? Or would you say she was being Iola and y'all weren't sure what she was doing?
I think she was just being Iola and we're not sure what she was doing.
Yeah.
It's very possible she can just be like, I'm invisible. Just somewhere.
I just imagine her just somewhere, some camera going by, just aggressively T-posing in invisibility. Just doing Malkavian things.
Yeah, because she does have obfuscate now.
See, now I'm
Can't
picturing
go
Iola and
here.
Walter like that anytime Doobie and Rafa aren't here.
Yeah.
They're just in their lair, just boom, waiting for input from the person that controls it.
Just in sleep mode.
I picture that GIF every time Iola doesn't come out is just like stars, can't do it.
Oh, speaking of when she can't come out, do you have your deck handy?
I do.
Let's see what Iola has drawn for tonight.
I'll have to do this one-handed. My child decided, Mom, I'm going to claim your arm and lay on it. So please bear with me.
Well, it was silly of you to ever think it was your arm when there was a cat in the room.
Yeah.
Right. Flip, move, cut deck. And we will choose this card. Okay. The Emperor. Upside, right side up.
All right. You said it was upright.
Mm.
Authority, establishment, structure, a father figure.
That sounds
Have
like the
a-
Camarilla.
I have authority, power, influence, leadership, listening, respect, and strength. Oh. That is what I had drawn.
Well, sounds like you may have to get out and be the boss tonight.
Oh,
Probably.
Y'all are the authority in this area, or in y'all's little area after all. Don't know who the father figure would be, though.
your sire.
I was about to say surprise visit from the sire, maybe.
Oh God. That would be something.
The sire is secretly Cam. We must kill him.
Secretly.
That means you probably
Bobby
found the
Bedlam,
traitor.
we have to kill him.
I mean, definitely could be Cam. I mean, she just wanted to get away from him, so she probably did join Anarchs just to get away and defy. So,
Fair.
you know, could be a thing.
It absolutely could be. So, Ella, you've gotten all these texts about, hey, new group channel, this, that, and the other, reading between the lines, okay, this Creed guy clearly betrayed us, and that's why, he basically handed the far domains to the Cam.
Mm-hmm.
But then a little bit after that, though, there's a bunch of going back and forth and stuff, and, Maddox is clearly upset with August. And then the chat just kind of goes silent. Basically, that's when they started sending their couriers back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
So what does Iola want to get up into?
Probably just head to the office.
All right.
See if anybody's over there.
All right. So when you get to the office, you see Furman leaving. That's the guy y'all put in charge of the Thin Bloods.
Mm-hmm.
Are you approaching obfuscated?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. As he's leaving, Egidio, did you go ahead and leave when he left? I know you were about to leave when he showed up. And then...
I was about to leave, and then I just kind of look at Emma like,
Could the day get any more exciting?
And then Iola walks in.
Me and my big mouth.
Hey, stranger.
Why has everything gone quiet?
Everyone's
think
getting...
everyone-
Go ahead.
Everyone wants to go back to courier pigeons, at least for the time being.
Hmm.
It'll be fun, just like the good old days.
Yes, I need to train me some birds.
Not a bad idea.
Gotta catch birds so you can train birds, though.
Speaking of,
Let's say, meanwhile, Kyle with entire flocks of birds.
speaking of being quiet, you've been conspicuous by your absence.
Things haven't felt right.
Things better feel right pretty soon. We've got shit to do. Respectfully.
We'll see if it continues to feel wrong or not.
I don't like that non-committal statement, but I just gotta take it because I'm getting the fuck out of here. He just leaves.
Just like staring at Judy like, why are you leaving? Why? No, no!
That's not my problem. Shuts the door behind him.
It's like I want to go on vacation. Yeah, apparently the camera rallying forces in Molten, potentially. And there's a traitor in the outer baronies that have fallen. They're now in cam control. And, you know, just the usual, everything going to shit. Another Tuesday, or whatever day it is.
Definitely time for a vacation. But somewhere not so sunny.
Yeah, problem is getting there. They're surviving to get there.
Kyle, you get a message from Ryder.
Okay.
He is at the agreed upon spot.
I say he's on his way. Is this after the meeting with old man?
Montgomery.
Old Montgomery?
Yeah.
He's still there, but it's winding down. I mean, he's told you about what he can, about what he can tell you that'll be useful, short term. He can't cram you too full of knowledge. And he doesn't know a lot of the specifics about, like, the inside workings of their culture.
Yeah. Which then he gets the text, looks down, is like, that would be him now.
Want some backup? They
Well,
won't know I'm there if I don't want them to.
considering this is the one that commented that I have honor, I prefer not to besmirch that, if at all possible.
All right, then. Good luck, Onion.
I appreciate the offer, though.
You want to come fight Camarilla with us?
Though if you'd like to wet your fangs on something, there's the camera making a lot of noise.
Give me... Let's see, I guess perception... performance... persuasion. I'll get to the right P word eventually.
Okay.
And
Right.
charisma. Let's
Okay.
see how well old Montgomery
luck.
likes you.
I would run the risk and rouse my charisma. Okay, cool.
Question, what's a pass? What's a fail? Numbers.
6 and higher if you're using numbered dice.
Yeah. Well, that's a critical success. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay.
I rolled successes on all 6 of the dice I got from rousing my charisma. So
Nice. He didn't really like dealing with the city much. But this is kind of important. And if he cuts off the support, if it cuts off his support, that helps him in his more personal struggle. Well, you may not have been aware of his name. You knew there was an older Cam gangrel, and that him and old Montgomery have the wildlife refuge basically split up between them.
yeah.
But all right, if you need me in this, if you need me in the next few weeks or whatever, to fight this big push, you can come get me. Or you can send me a message or whatever.
I appreciate it.
I won't consider it trespassing if you come after me.
I appreciate the gift.
And then he gets up.
I'll see what I can find out. Okay. And then he'll message Ryder saying he's on his way.
All right, I forget exactly where we said the spot was. I know it's outside of town.
Yeah,
a little bit.
it's a gas station outside town. I don't remember what it was or which side of town it was on. I think you said it was west.
Yeah, I think so. The quickest way out of town from your side. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, you get out there. Decent sized gas station.
Mm-hmm.
Would probably still be open normally, but this is COVID times.
Yeah.
So decent sized gas station. Right next to it, Bitcoin operated car wash.
Mm-hmm.
And you have a decent sized SUV sitting there.
Yeah.
Looks fairly new, but like it's been run through the mud a few times.
Fair.
Like it's an SUV that's actually used for what SUVs were designed for.
Mm-hmm. Since he never did manage to sell his bike, it's a good thing he still has it because his truck is currently in the outer barony right now.
Oh yeah.
That thing's still stuck out there.
Yeah, you may not get it back till the campaign's over.
Yeah, probably not. So
Some say it's backing up slowly as we speak, slowly crossing that bridge.
the cam come to stop it. There's just the sound from inside like, "Let me free."
It's now a cryptid.
Not a trick.
Well, year after next, we might be doing Old Gods. Who knows?
Oh God, no, not a cryptid truck.
Anyway, yeah. So he'll drive up on his motorcycle.
Ryder gets out of the car, or SUV.
Yeah.
He gets out of the passenger side, so clearly there's a driver in there.
Although, more to the point, Kyle still looks beat the fuck up. Like he never got the chance to change.
Ryder gives you the up and down.
Yeah, war is hell.
Yeah. Unfortunately, in Gaia's last days, we live in interesting times.
Gaia?
The Earth, the natural world.
Ah. Okay. Well.
Who have you been fighting? Some of your own?
Yeah. The Cam have decided they want to get help from outside the city to try to drive us out. Or kill us. Or enslave us. Some variation of the three.
None of that sounds too good.
No.
Is that why you called me here? Or are you looking for help from outside the city?
I'll admit that wasn't my first thought. Circumstances have changed, and I was going to ask, but that is not originally why I contacted you.
Well, what was your original purpose?
Well, after our talks involving the worm and how you originally smelled it, or one of your packs smelled it on me,
Mm-hmm.
I've been changing a few of my habits up. And I was curious if they could still smell it on. I haven't told anyone else this amongst my own kind, but I don't hunt humans anymore.
I didn't even know that was a thing you could do. Or could avoid doing.
Still need a source of blood, but...
But everything has to eat.
True.
He calls out the truck. Somebody gets out from the rear passenger side. You recognize it. You think it's his buddy from the other day. Or other week.
No.
The one who almost went after Iola. He walks.
well,
He just walks a circle around you, sniffing, and then he just sort of shrugs. This close, I can tell he's not alive, but he doesn't stink of the worm at the moment.
Okay. Well, that's good. I'll admit, when you first told me that, my original thought was, well, I know what I need to fight next.
His buddy gives you a raised eyebrow. Ryder's buddy gives you a raised eyebrow.
I refuse to be chained to anything.
He just sort of nods. Ryder's like, that's respectable. We've never known of my people have never known of any of yours that could avoid it for too long, though.
Yeah, I met with an older member of my bloodline, and he did mention that through past interactions with the Garou, I believe that's what you call yourselves, yes?
Close enough, yeah.
That once the older we get, when more of the beast takes hold, more of our humanity gets stripped away, then eventually you start to smell it on them.
Well, we've always assumed the worm was the source of your condition.
Well, at least from what I've gleaned, context might be what you're sensing is when more of our humanity gets taken by the beast.
Humans are hardly free of the worm's influence themselves.
Yes, well, in this case, our ties to humanity helps keep that instinct managed to a degree.
Well, this is interesting and all. And, I mean, clearly whatever steps you've taken have helped. At least some. I mean, even if you're just fighting against the inevitable, it's still an honorable fight. But you said situations had changed?
Yes, the Cam, or the Camarilla, is what we call the other faction of Kindred, or that's what we call ourselves. They're getting help from outside the city, as I mentioned. Reinforcements.
From other cities, I assume, since that tends to be where all of you congregate.
It's the freshest source of food for a lot of us.
And my own people, most of us, don't like going there.
And I know you mentioned before you don't like going into the cities.
It's the stronghold of our oldest enemies. No offense.
Nah, it is what it is. So, if possible, I would like to make a request of your pack.
Ryder pauses, gives you kind of a measured look. His buddy just kind of growls. I don't know if our pack needs to get swept up in their political machinations. I mean, why should we care which side of them is in control? We're better off if they're killing each other.
Saying you're free to refuse. Didn't come here with any kind of expectation that you would agree.
Ryder's like, what is it you would want us to do? What is it you need us? What help do you need?
Okay, and this is player to storyteller. Said that group of Cam vampires was coming from Priceville.
They got some reinforcements from Priceville. which is to the east of the city, or east of Decatur. When they hit the far baronies on that side, Moulton is to the west, and that's where you've gotten information that Moulton is building up its people, preparing for something offensive.
Okay,
So if they sweep into Decatur from the west, they're going to hit Clint's domain and y'all's domain, and maybe the Packs if they swing down low enough. Would be the first ones they hit on that side.
So all right. So it's not Molten Heights itself. That's
no. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Molten Heights partially gets its name because Old Molten Road ran through there.
Okay. Also,
and Old Molten Road ran from Decatur to Molten. So straightaway.
I got a tiny human. 1 second.
Oh, okay. It's the Hobbitses.
Tiny human breaks.
Tiny human.
Well, we allow cat breaks every now and then, so I suppose tiny humans deserve the same consideration.
Yes.
So where does a GDO go when he leaves the office?
I think he goes back to his haven. Taking the circuitous route, of course. And I think he goes and sees if his ghostly person is still there. That was fast.
Yeah, she made it quick because she heard Jason going, tiny human break. So.
Yeah, Egidio goes back to his haven.
Okay.
Just sees if Mildred is there.
She is. She's in the living room as you step in. There is conflicted emotion on her face.
Mm-hmm. Is there any new writing on the wall?
Yes. It's a lot less wild than a lot of her writing has been.
Ooh.
It's still not what you call neat handwriting, but it's better than it was. It just says, I felt again. And other than that, there's no extra mess. If there was mess, if there was already mess there before you did your ritual thing, it's still there. She hasn't cleaned anything up, but nothing else seems to be wrecked.
He just smiles and nods. Has a small bow.
I forget what it was that you offered her when you made that deal.
He offered to put her to rest through whatever she needed with her son.
Oh.
I will be right back.
Okay.
If I remember correctly, I think she told him to get lost.
Yeah, but then she started feeling feelings, and she's like, "Holy shit!"
Mm-mm-mm.
But yes, apparently that little deal, it jazzes you up while she's inhabiting you. But apparently there's something on her side as well.
Yeah, I mean, Egidio didn't know for sure that it's like symbiotic, but he had a feeling, just because of the different ways that it can manifest. But I don't think he wants to do. I think he'll write underneath where she says, "I felt again." He'll write neatly, "Tomorrow?" ?
She narrows her eyes at you, like she doesn't necessarily trust why. But you see her mouth the word maybe.
And he nods his head again. and will kind of. I think what he's doing here at this point is getting a go bag ready to roll out tomorrow because he's pretty sure shit's hitting the fan.
One of those little military foldable shovels. Yeah, there's gonna be bodies
Yeah.
to bury tomorrow.
Yep. The foldable shovel, the trench digger, the grenade launcher. He's bringing that with him.
We just need a coat and a gas mask. We can call him a Kriegsman. So I'm forever the 40k nerd. You know this.
Oh wait, no, we did use the RPG last session.
Yeah, I think you did.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well, it was a worthy use.
Yep. I mean, you blew up a car and severely damaged another one, and I think took out how many?
A lot.
4 or 5.
Not all of them dead.
Yeah.
Some of them just frenzied and ran away.
Yeah.
Yeah, you chunked a chunk out of them.
Yep.
Mounted on Wolfback, but it worked.
Yeah. So yeah, that's all he's really doing. It's like I think he goes and remembers that he used the RPG earlier in the night. It's like, oh, right.
I'm just picturing the higher ups, in the cam reading reports from North Alabama over the last couple of years. All right, we've got a half-blood flying and punching people in Huntsville. Oh, the anarchs have somebody that riding around with grenade launchers on the back of a wolf, a giant wolf. Great. Are they training the lupine down there?
That probably might be all. That would be more if I were any sane Camarilla person. It'd be all the more reason for me not to fuck with those people. They have some sort of tryst with the lupines. I don't want any of that.
Who invited the Bamas in here anyway? But it's all right. So you're getting to go back together. Cut back to Kyle for a minute.
Yep.
Yeah.
So what was it you were in the middle of telling him?
Well, Ryder asked me what I would make a request of their pack.
Mm-hmm.
Said, well, earlier last night and tonight, one of our domains fell to the cam. Betrayed from within. Political stuff, as you mentioned, as he gestures to his friend. They had gotten help from Priceful. I had some ravens follow them, so I know where they came from. However, I got intel tonight that they are amassing on Molten Road, close to here.
We knew the city of Molten had a population of yours.
Mm-hmm.
And if they attack Decatur from Molten, they're likely to be hitting your area.
My area, and several of my allies in the process. So I will be fighting, even in my injured state. I said, I know you don't want to go into the city. My hope was that, as a compromise, your pack might hit them in the transition between cities.
He pauses. His buddy's looking at him. We might be able to do that. A chance to catch a group of them outside the city. Now, I am not in charge. I'm one of the higher ranking members of my pack, but I can't make this call.
I understand. And if you need me to make the request to whomever is...
Ryder's buddy kind of sucks the air in through his teeth.
I'm guessing that's a bad idea.
Ryder's like, no. He might be willing to, given that you helped us find one of our lost ones, he might be willing to speak to you out here in territory like this, were he here, but we couldn't take you back to where we're staying at the moment.
Oh,
Or in
so-
our camp, if you will.
if I may make a summation, effectively you have locations that you defend like we do then.
Yes. Some of them are just
Understandable.
temporary camps. Some of them are places of importance.
Understandable. You don't cross another's borders without permission.
But I will take your request to him. Do you know when these people will be, or when these things will be on the move?
Do I?
No. All the information that you've gotten so far is they're amassing in Molten, preparing for something offensive. The Thin Bloods contacted Molten. With everything going on, assumes they're about to go hit Decatur. And he is basically warning his Thin Blood cousin that he knows lives out this way. Keep your head down.
I don't have a time frame of when they will attack. Just got some intel that they're amassing. And if you've already been hit and one of our domains lost in the east, it's not too far of a tactical stretch. They might try to hit and potentially take one to the west as well. So I don't have a time frame of when they might be leaving the city, unfortunately.
I'll take your request, though. Suggest that we put people... we have people patrol the road. There's only a couple of routes they would probably take from Bolton to Decatur.
If they're moving a large force like they did from Priceful, they'll probably take a road that could handle a large convoy of vehicles.
Yeah, probably just Molten Road then. Now, I want you to give me... once again, this would probably be Charisma.
I'm going to go ahead and rouse it too, because this is an important roll. Okay.
I'm trying to think of what skill would go... I mean, Persuasion, I could see it being...
Well, as I am dealing with Lupine, I do have that lore sheet bonus where I get an extra 2 dice with Lupine with Persuasion.
Yeah. Use Persuasion then.
Okay.
That's probably what that's specifically there for.
Okay. I'm going to willpower reroll 3 of these.
Okay.
Because I need it. That's much nicer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
All right, 5 successes. Mark that down. All right. So you've made your pitch. You've left your impressions with him. He is going to go talk to his... can't remember what the terminology is. But he's going to go talk to his superior. You can make no promises. You've still got the drop phone.
Yeah.
Or the burner phone number. If you get any specifics, let him know and he'll spread it around.
All right. And Ryder. One thing about our kind that we're very big on is favors. Should this work out, I'll owe you a large one. That if you need my fangs and claws to attack something, you'll have another body in the fight if you need it.
Character development.
Better late than never.
Well, that's the thing is honestly, he feels a lot better dealing with the werewolves than he does with vampires.
That's fair.
They're not big on conniving.
That you know of.
That's not
That I know
entirely
of.
true, but that would probably be Kyle's take on things, at least.
Yeah.
They're less conniving than vampires.
Yeah.
But yeah, he'll see what he can do. I mean, he knows his they use the word chief, but I can't remember what they call. I can't remember what they call the head of one of the large.
I do have the book. Do you want me to look it up?
It's not that important.
Okay.
But he knows none of these people don't want to get caught up in your politics too much. But the chance to just tear a bunch of you up as they travel between cities, that's a nice opportunity. So anyway, he will definitely take your request.
All right. Did he get the other one's name? I don't remember if we did.
I know you did. I know you did back.
Contact.
I know you did back when you met Ryder. I know I gave out his name. I just don't remember which page I wrote it down on.
That's fair.
I have a lot of notes for this game, but they are very messily organized.
Next year we'll get organized on notes. We swear.
No, we said that this year.
I said it every year.
Next year's our year, man.
Just open up a world and we'll count already.
I have thought about just having Google Docs over on one side, just typing in everything.
Just a group Google Doc.
I mean, it could work.
It's not a bad idea, actually.
Hey. Next year.
Yeah.
Next year for sure.
That'll help
Well,
people not hear.
I will say, we'll say next year something that Sarah and I figured out with the CompCon thing. You can actually share your character codes. So, like any notes you make, you can actually look at.
Oh, that might be useful.
Neat.
But that's not important right now.
Yeah, something for after game. So he'll say writer and to friend because we don't know his name, although Kyle knows it.
Yeah.
He'll say, well, good hunting.
You as well, and get yourself cleaned up.
That's the plan. And he will leave.
All right, you grab your motorcycle, you take off back towards Decatur.
Yep. He's going to head to the office. Yes, the office.
All right, when you get to the office, Iola and Emma are there.
Well, 2 meetings in one night. That went well.
And you managed not to die in either one.
Yeah, considering one of them was Old Montgomery.
If I was in a joking mood, I'd say you have been made into a pod person and are now just set amongst us as a spy, but that seems a bit out of pocket.
Well, you might as well say it because A,
Hand goes for gun.
I have temporarily been given leave to enter Old Montgomery's territory and not be considered trespassing. To pass him some information about wherever we're going to be attacking the cam at some point because he thinks it'll be fun to join in.
It's known that Old Montgomery is old, right? Like,
yeah,
he's old enough. People are
Very
wondering
old.
why he hasn't traveled east yet.
Yeah.
He-
He's,
he-
He should
almost-
definitely be hearing the calling.
yeah, he's almost elder level vampire.
he'll be a good force to have on our side, and by God, I
Now,
hope he has
the
fun.
cam have a similarly aged guy.
Yeah, but have they convinced him?
That's a fair point.
a lot of them.
Have they
A lot
thought
of
to
the, a lot
convince
of the
him 'cause
older
he is a
ones like to
gangrel?
stay apolitical.
He's also isn't the other old one also a gangrel?
Yes.
Yeah.
And Cam aren't too big on gangrel, if I remember right. Or was
Well,
Well,
most of the
the gang-
clan stepped away. I mean, not all
Yeah.
of them. You got the dude in Huntsville that's still still there, and a few others scattered around.
Yeah. Like I think most of the clan left after that one guy did because he heard the
Theo
call.
Bell shot up the
Yeah.
cam.
Well, he's
Mhm.
Bruja, but
Yeah.
the gangrel had actually left before then.
Gangrel adjacent.
Gangrel adjacent.
They started encountering the antediluvian when they'd merged with the Earth. They were like, "Oh, Cam been lied to us about these guys not existing."
We
Yeah.
gotta go.
Yeah.
Then the Theo
Time to
Bell thing, that was the
GTFO.
Bruja leaving.
Also, I may have talked a werewolf pack into attacking the cam.
This is going to be an interesting couple of nights.
Yeah, they said to let them know when we get more concrete evidence of when that group from Molten's going to be leaving, because they would like to interfere with that convoy.
Make friends. Everyone likes to make
Well,
new friends.
potentially.
And then
He's-
murder them.
He said he would make the request, but no guarantee. The most just don't want to get caught up in our politics. But
Oh, I don't want to get caught up in our politics.
I don't want to get caught up in our politics either. I just wanted to run my bar. But seemed, at least on the outside, at least from what I could tell, seemed okay with potentially just hitting a pile of kindred and just leaving them a pile of kindred. So I don't know.
Enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Yeah. Also, apparently can't sense the worm on me anymore. Whatever that is.
It's gonna be a long few nights.
Yeah. Speaking of,
Iola.
do
Have
we
you
have
carved-
any way to contact the other barons?
We've been sending carrier pigeons back and forth in the form of different couriers with messages.
Hmm.
Why?
Probably need to go have a talk with Matic.
Do we know anything? Was his one of the cars that was going into the outer baronies, or was that?
Yeah,
think that was
Maddox. No, August's was spotted going out there. August's, Woodard's, and the lady of the theater.
Josephine.
Josephine, yeah.
And do we know about this yet? Or is it this
Walter
kind of-
knows. I don't know how much Walter
Okay.
has shared.
Okay.
Yeah, I probably need to have a talk with Maddox because his is the most threatened.
Let him know if you see a bunch of werewolves running around. If you see a bunch of large wolves, just ignore them. It's really
Yeah.
whole lot of gangrels.
I'm gonna go take a drive up that way.
Don't get killed.
Do you want to come? He seems to like you.
I'm kind of holding down the fort here, but I could leave a note or just leave the building. Unless you
Oh.
want to stay, Iola.
So I mean, you got Iola, and Walter's probably here somewhere.
Like looking around. Walter, if you're here, knock on something.
I see Josh over there T-posing.
Just Walter's just aggressively T-posing in the corner of the room.
Basically, once you hear the request, you just hear.
Yeah,
You
well,
got that boy looking around.
Yeah, that meant all the cats are like, oh fuck.
If anyone comes by, you know pretty much everything that's going on. You could pass it on to them. Or if they need me or someone else, they can fucking deal for 10 minutes and I'll talk to them when I can.
Fair enough. Oh, also, and at this point, he'll kind of flip through his notes and spill the beans in terms of all that he has learned. In terms
Oh,
of,
man.
Okay, so I think this happened while I was still at church, those 3 vehicles were spotted going into these baronies here that we lost.
Yes, or not as of the crap hitting the fan the last day or two, but in weeks prior.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, Walter's mainly sharing the notes of him and his fellow Nos keeping an eye on the whole broad community that is the baronies.
Didn't Woodard have previous cam ties?
Yeah, she had basically gotten run out of the cam right before the Inquisition rolled through, and then the anarchs kicked their stuff off.
Yeah.
Could she be trying to get back in their good graces?
Walter,
Yes.
do me a favor and keep an eye on Woodard.
Fair enough. I'll also put word out to the other nurses to keep our eyes on Withered. Anything in particular I need to be aware of?
Just general surveillance for now. If she's trying to get back into the good graces of the Camarilla by potentially selling out our domain.
I'll
Well,
tell her myself.
you'll have to race me to that, because there's some things you don't do that even me with my shady as hell past, there's some things you don't do, and that's betray someone you fight alongside.
Fair enough. Should I also keep any tabs on Ada, even though technically she works for us?
Oh, considering she's pissed, and I did technically threaten her recently, it probably couldn't hurt.
Fair enough. Whether and Ada. Anyone else to add to the list, or just these 2 for now?
Nothing like a little war to make you paranoid.
Let's just go for broke and say keep an eye on the mall.
Fair enough. AKA continue surveillance, just up the level.
Yeah.
Alright, I'll let my fellow nurse know to keep up the good work and to increase paranoia levels.
Paranoia level plaid.
I'm just imagining that the Nosferatu have a leveling system in terms of surveillance, and it's just levels of paranoia. How bad are you?
And in keeping theme with the Nos, however high the paranoia level gets, the uglier the color becomes.
We're at paranoia level puce.
We're paranoia level pus.
Oh no.
Uh,
That's horrible.
It's also the Nos.
Paranoia level cyst.
Ugh.
I hate it.
So would level undulating
so
be
much.
at low on the list or high on the list?
Depends on what's undulating.
Undulating is a verb. It has to be something.
That's true. That's true.
I actually haven't attached it to anything this game.
I've been
Always
intentionally
next
not.
game.
Something is going to be undulating in Lancer, I know that.
Giggity?
Probably a Horus mech.
Phrasing.
Probably a Horus mech, yeah. Just got to look at any of their designs. Something is undulating with those things.
All right, so Kyle and Emma were headed out.
Yep.
Walter will
So-
hold down the fort of the office, and he'll, as they're leaving, he'll go ahead and message the other Nosferatu. Ah, yes, keep up the good work, boys. However, increase paranoia levels.
In the time that Walter has been gone, Emma probably got him a larger desk, so he's not hunched over like a like cartoon drawing. Like that would look uncomfortable.
I appreciate it. You hear him snapping as he tries to sit up straight.
Just sounds like a glow stick.
Hate
All right,
that.
let's go. We can all relate to that one though.
Yeah.
Mhm. That's
Just
me
through the
once a month.
microphones. Was that your bones?
I mean, you've said that to me several times.
Yeah, because your bone cracks are audible through the microphone with no effort.
Was that your neck? Yep.
All right, so y'all load on a motorcycle and take off. Just like the early days of the campaign.
Yep. Because I'm probably not getting that truck back.
Oh, y'all probably get it back, but well, assuming y'all don't lose and have to flee the
In
city.
pieces. In pieces.
Well, I don't know. Egidio hit it pretty well.
Then he took the tag, so.
Yeah, and he hit it somewhere too.
Yep.
It's like in some warehouse.
It's like back
somewhere.
behind a shut down gas station or something.
Yeah.
Somehow,
Speakers are going to get to
miraculously,
it first.
Out of sight of the road, but not really hidden.
Mm-hmm.
you never know. It could be surrounded by bushes.
So anyway, they drive off,
Hmm.
and a minute or two later, the back door opens. Ada walks in.
The bushes start talking. What hit all the bushes at once?
She shuts the door behind her. She glances at her. Oh, did I miss Emma? What a shame.
Unfortunately, yes, she just
Best
stepped out.
frenemies.
What can I do
Mhm.
for you, Miss Ada?
Well, my job has gotten very hard to do tonight.
In terms of keeping count,
Yes.
to be fair,
We've got people fleeing the domain, fleeing into the domain. We've got people keeping their heads down so far that I don't know if they're still here or not.
given the current circumstances, I say you're free to not have to fret about it at this current moment.
Yeah, this does fret about, I guess. Did the thin blood come by? He was all aflutter about something. I told him to come talk to the barons.
Yes, I think he chatted with potentially Emma and Egidio, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
I didn't get a chance to talk to the boy.
Iola, what have you been doing? You've been at the office. What have you been doing the last little bit?
Well, I was rolling for her to have, to see if she can get a premonition of what is to come
Okay.
with the information she had. I rolled everything. I had a rouse check. I passed that. It was 6 dice. I passed all 6 dice. 110, but that's not a hunger dice. It's regular dice.
Okay.
But all 6 are passed the photo done earlier.
Okay, so you got 6 successes.
Uh-huh.
So Ada's been talking to you, Walter, and she turns to say something to Iola, and then she stops because Iola's got this look on her face like she's not really there.
Is
Now-
she ever really there, though?
Less now than usual. All right. So what exactly was Iola trying to get a premonition about?
With getting all the information, Cam taking over one part because killing off barons, and then more Cam coming up from Priceville upwards and whatnot.
All
Trying
right.
to figure out how that's gonna go.
So she is looking for about the upcoming the overall situation.
Yes.
All right, 6 successes. Yeah, 6 successes is pretty good. So Walter, what you and Ada are seeing is Iola just looking around, just frantically. Her eyes are like she's trying to take in everything she can see. But she's sitting in the office. There's not that much to see. It shouldn't be that hard. Ada just makes a slight swishing sound. Like she doesn't want you to disturb Iola, and she is watching her like a scientist watching a specimen, or watching a chemical reaction, or Iola, what you are seeing, you're seeing a lot. Oh, a whole lot of crap's about to go down, and you're getting quick flashes from it from all over the city. You see a caravan of cars coming across that bridge where the guys had their fight, earlier in the night. last session, but still earlier in the same night, as far as you're concerned. You get a sense of menace from them. You see a string of cars. Coming from the west. They're driving past a wooded area. There's a whole bunch of eyes in the woods. It cuts away before anything actually happens there. But again, this sense of impending doom or menace. You get a scene of people just pouring over the belt line from the cam side towards the office, towards the mall. You get a flash of Woodard quickly trying to get into a car. You see all the other barons involved in various fighting. You never see yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Though sometimes you get the impression that you're there, but you may be sometimes it's like you're seeing things from afar. Sometimes it's like maybe you're seeing things from your viewpoint, in the action. You see Maddox and August exchanging blows. You see several of your fellow barons kind of all tore up. Though exactly what sort of injuries you see them with keep shifting. Like there's a lot in play. There's a lot of ways it could turn out. It looks rough regardless.
So when you're saying Woodard's getting into a vehicle, is it like during the other barons all fighting, like she's just going
There's
to a car
there's
to get
clearly
in
a lot of
off?
something going on around, and she's like quick. It's like running up to the car, fishing her keys out, and like frantically trying to get in.
Okay.
The last thing you see before the vision ends is Ada crying blood. You can't tell what she's saying, but you get the clear impression that she's pleading with somebody. And then the vision ends, and you're staring right in Ada's actual face as she's gotten up close to you, just watching you go through all this. So you got the crying her face kind of superimposed over her real face, and then when the vision fades, she's just sitting there. Are you back with us, Iola?
I mean, I hope so.
You were experiencing a vision, weren't you?
Yeah, and then she'll pull out her phone
Ada
to
pulls
tell.
Ada pulls out her notepad. So what were you experiencing?
She's gonna do the quick group text and be like, "Please come back to the office." And she's gonna look at Ada and be like, "I'm only gonna do this once. Gotta wait for the rest of the barons of this group to show up."
As you start saying, I'm only going to say this once, you just see her take her pencil out, lick the end, and get you ready.
Egidio will eventually. Egidio will show up because it's. I get the sense it's not that common for Iola herself to be texting the group chat.
And explicitly saying, I need all of you here now.
Yeah. So
and when you get in, Iola will be pacing, trying to keep everything.
His gun out as he comes out. It's like, all right, where's the fire? Oh. Okay.
All right. So all of you get that message except Emma and Kyle.
They left their phones?
The phone's in their pocket. They're on a motorcycle though.
Okay, but they'll see it whenever they stop, though.
If they look at their phones, yes.
Yes.
So you all get out on the belt line and start heading up, basically the street they call Old Moulton these days, which cuts right through Moulton Heights. That's the quickest way to. It skims right along the top of Cam territory for a little bit, and then straight into Maddox's realm. But as soon as you hit the Beltline, you see lights click on in the U-Haul parking lot and take out into the street.
That's just me exclaiming.
Well, I don't know if Emma would notice. It's all to her back. Kyle, at least, has got the mirrors.
Mm-hmm.
That was me out of character exclaiming.
Well,
What now?
It's at least 2 cars, and they are trying quickly to catch up with you.
all right then. Cars versus racing motorcycle.
What are you doing?
This isn't what we agreed on.
Yeah, he's gonna gun it.
All right, give me
Hell yeah!
let's see. Dex drive seems the most likely. Yeah, go with the Dex drive.
Dex drive. Alrighty. Dice, come back here. You're not allowed to hide from me. Where did you go?
They're over there.
Actually, yes, they were.
No, they're over there actually.
No, behind the thing.
They were behind the computer. Dex drive, you said?
Yes.
4, 5, 6.
All right. So, you spotted them before they even pulled out on the road, so you take off. You get yourself a decent little lead. But even that far back, you can hear the engines.
Mm-hmm.
They are not in just, everyday cars.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, as you see one of them passing up, under a street light, you recognize the model of the car. That may be like an old police car that somebody is,
Super.
refit for
Civilian.
civilians,
Hmm.
Which means it may have a little power under there, but you have gotten a decent little lead on them.
Hey, Emma.
What?
That old police cruiser. Put some rounds in the hood and knock out the engine.
You got a lot of faith in me at this point. Okay. What do I roll to shoot from a moving motorcycle?
All right, how to see you're on the motorcycle. Yeah, you keep one arm on him and spin around and try to.
Yeah.
Let me see.
I'm guessing firearms something.
Definitely firearms. Let's see. Composure
No, etiquette.
is composure is
Charisma.
more social.
Resolve, maybe?
Yeah, let's use resolve.
Rolling to rouse. Don't get any hungrier. Five.
Okay. Yeah, so you see the spark as your first round, pings into the hood at least. You see a spark that hits the hood, and then it kind of reflects up, and cracks the windshield. Doesn't look like you don't see where it poked a hole in the windshield, but clearly it deflected up and hit the windshield. So there's, a ding in the hood and a crack.
Oh, armored.
On the passenger side of the window. Excuse me, getting choked up.
It's very emotional.
Mm-mm-mm.
But it cracked the windshield.
Yes.
Cool. If she gets a chance to take another shot, second round's going in towards the windshield driver's side.
Okay. Kyle, give me another roll.
All right.
Oh, yeah, got that. Left dude's hungry dice.
Mm-mm-mm. Same roll?
Yes.
Okay. 7, but with a skull.
Okay.
Just in case 7 successes doesn't do the trick.
The skull's there,
It's
so...
awful close, let me tell you.
Mm.
Except Emma's also rolling something this round. I'm going to have to divide his successes out between
4.
Mm.
the two. All right. Well, he got 6 successes.
That was close.
Yeah.
So, he starts weaving back and forth. And it's making him harder to hit. Emma, you miss him. However, that is slowing him down a little bit. And Kyle, you pull even further ahead. And you're very quickly coming up on the turn on Old Moulton.
Okay.
Is this technically camp territory, or is it anarch territory that they're following them through?
Right now, they are on the belt line,
Neutral.
which, cuts between your two territories. You are technically just a little bit north at this point of what is officially your territory. Or, no, wait. I'm trying to remember exactly where the roads go here. No, you're actually between your two territories. You're at the very north corner. Because Old Moulton cuts across the top of your territory.
So right
it
between
is the
Cam
north
and
border.
Anarch?
Yeah, it is the north border of your territory, basically.
Okay. If they're pulling ahead by a significant amount, she's going to put away the gun and try and call Maddox and let him know.
All right, so Kyle, give me one more roll.
Mm-hmm.
We're just going to do the 3 and done with this.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, not as good. They only got 2 this time.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Good,
you hit
because there's another skull.
So you hit the ramp and you get over there, and they're still following you. It's they probably guessed generally where you're going. Emery just rings a couple of times, and you hear Maddox's voice. Baron
Hi,
Hawthorne?
we were
Well, he
coming
wouldn't say that over the
to
phone.
we were coming to visit. We had some information about that project you were working on, and yeah, we got some weird guy following us. Do you know any good ways to shake him?
Weird guys. As Kyle says.
Over the roar of wind because motorcycle.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
I mean, honestly, probably by the sound of it, because this thing's engine is loud. So it's probably obviously the sound of him revving it for speed.
I think I've got some friends in the area. Just keep heading towards. He gives you a place you've met him at before.
Fantastic.
It's
I think
not a haven, but it's like his place of business. People know they can go there and contact him.
I think some numbers might persuade him to be a little more friendly. Head that way.
So yeah, you've got a part of ahead of him, and you do eventually see the lights come up behind you, but before they manage to catch up with you at all, you see several more cars kind of converging on them. So the pursuit basically ends there, and as you're going up over a little overpass, you hear a little bit of gunfire in the background.
They're getting really bold.
Yes, they are.
This is gonna ramp up quick.
He'll slow down. Hey, could you send it? I need you to send text to Walter.
I got a text from Iola.
Read it later. I need you to send a text to Walter.
She just looks at it, sees what it is. Be back as soon as possible. Meeting. And prepares to send text to Walter.
Tell him to send the surprise for our northern neighbors.
Surprise?
Oh yes. Something Maddox and I had worked on, and if they're getting this bold, then it's time to send it.
Send it to Walter. Walter knows about this, and you haven't, huh?
This is something that we as a coterie had kind of worked out a while back. Like,
Okay, refresh my memory.
There is currently a decent amount of C4 that is, primed to blow up a firehouse.
That surprise!
Because we tracked the primogen of the Nos back to his place.
Did you set up a bunch of C4 there?
We did.
Yeah.
We haven't done anything with it yet. But all it'll take is a send.
Send it.
Sends to Walter. Send the surprise to the our friends up north. Kyle said it's time.
Because it was at that one bear meeting where Kyle mentioned he had birds that tracked the primogen, and they're all like, "Oh yeah, let's do something about that."
Walter, do you send the surprise?
Genuinely, Walter will take a minute to think about it. Oh, that's what he's talking about.
Walter is all of us.
Yeah.
Then it's just
At
boop, boop, boop.
that point, Walter takes a moment. It's like,
All the reason I remember is I specifically wrote it down because that was literally all of the C4 that Kyle had gotten from
Yeah.
the explosive agent. That's literally the entire stash that he had accrued that he put into this. Because this Nas specifically was like, we're gonna chain you. And Kyle, as a wolf at the time, listening in, was like, bet.
well,
Make forth the surprise.
given the particular person this surprise will be for, Walter has a Cheshire smile and is just like, as he wishes, and he sends it.
Boop, 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 boom.
Can hear a rumble.
Let's see, it was a fair amount of C4. I would say Emma and Kyle would definitely hear it go off.
Well, Walter waits approximately 30 seconds to a full minute and sends a message back. Done.
Do I hear it over on my end?
No, you wouldn't hear it that far away. But Kyle and Emma, you then get to Maddox's HQ. Lots of security out, but they wave you in immediately. It's obvious who you are.
Yep.
I mean, they also just heard a large explosion.
And you see some of them kind of looking over in that direction. Maddox's right hand man. What was his name? Jonathan Randall. I don't think I've called his name in a long time. Jonathan meets you at the door. Please come with me. The Baron's ready to see you.
Thank you.
And he ushers you right into Maddox's little study sitting room. Y'all been there before.
Maddox, good to see you.
Baron Adams, Baron Hawthorne. We just had a little explosion over towards downtown.
Yeah, I think we might have just blown up the Nos Primogen's haven.
I wouldn't bet on us being lucky enough he was there. Still, it's a nice little bit of payback. And something they wouldn't have been expecting, I'm sure.
Well, they had moles. We'll let them believe we also have moles. But as for the main reason why I wanted to drop by, we received intel that there is an amassing of Cam in Molten.
Damn. They're going to hit us on this. They're going to hit us on the west side, just like they did coming from Priceville on the east.
I wouldn't count on it, but I might have mitigated it.
Oh?
I was told not to expect it because it's not his call. But I might have talked a wolf pack into attacking them along the route.
Maddox just stares at you. One of his people that was hustling by the door stops and looks in until Maddox looks at him, and then he realizes he's got somewhere else to be.
Emma's just gonna go over and close that door.
There's always rumors. There's always rumors of your clan dealing with the lupine. I'll admit, I thought they were a bit exaggerated. Is this the same ones that tore through over by the hospital?
The ones that I was leading, yes.
But you don't know for sure that we can count on them for this.
I was told that while his position is high, it's ultimately not his call, that he'd bring the request up to whomever it is. And while they have absolutely no interest in getting involved in our politics whatsoever, they did seem a little excited to just leave a pile of kindred as a pile of kindred out in between cities.
That's why they are one of the reasons traveling between cities is so dangerous. So we can't take our eyes off the western horizon.
No.
But we might get lucky and not have to deal with it.
Potentially.
At least not as many.
Also, Old Montgomery said, yeah, sure, I'm going to get involved. So...
that is good news.
And if we need to get a hold of him, I have been given leave to cross into his territory and not be considered a trespasser.
Oh, he must have liked you. Ooh, though if he gets involved, I wonder if Hess is going to get involved.
I don't know. He did mention looking for an opportunity to remove some of Hess's support.
Well, yes, if we remove the Camarilla, then Hess would be there by himself. Might even be enough to make him move off somewhere else.
It's possible.
Maybe he could
I should
run off and be Huntsville's problem for a while.
I should caution that this gift is time sensitive. It's a few weeks.
If they're amassing them now, they won't wait too long to get us. They wouldn't want to give us time to recover from the hit on the east.
Yeah.
I'd expect it the next night or two.
Yeah, they were coming from Priceville. I had some birds following them.
Oh, I'd assumed we had thought it might be Priceville. We just, considering how they blocked off the highway, we also assumed some of them had come down from Huntsville. Though they could also
Then
keep
Egidio
on.
blew up several of their cars with an RPG.
I have read the reports.
Then there was a lot of C4. A lot of C4.
Well, it's only right that we give that back to the camp. They were so generous in giving it to us.
Yeah. So I decided to give it back with interest to the one who said he was going to try and chain me.
We also might want to keep an eye on Woodard.
Also that.
What have you found? Well, Woodard is your responsibility. What have you found out that she's up to or might be up to?
Well, from what our intelligence experts have found out, herself, August, and someone else. Me, the player, not remembering.
Oh, Reinhardt.
Josephine.
Josephine Reinhardt, yeah.
That was it. Yeah, herself, August, and Josephine were seen entering the outer barony before all of this went down to the east.
I was aware
Not
August
a
had gone out there.
coincidence.
Well, August
See,
had gone
nothing-
out there to help the new Baron get situated. He had volunteered. Of course, he was also the one that pushed to put Creed in charge over there. That worked out wonderfully. I don't know what Josephine would be interested in over there.
I don't know.
I don't know of any business interests Woodard would have in the area. Though she knows people all over the city with her little parties.
Just as a heads up.
Yeah, we should probably never
Could be
let her
nothing,
back.
but
We should probably never let her back in the city anyway.
Back in the city?
She had tried to overthrow her sire. The prince at the time was, well, had the Inquisition not come through the exact day they did, there would probably have been a blood hunt called on her.
Are we talking about Josephine or Woodard?
Woodard.
Okay.
No, Josephine
That-
came in after the.
See, that was Kyle saying that in character because he's like, wait, who are we talking about right now?
He's like, oh no, Woodard. Josephine came in after the anarchs had claimed so much territory.
has Ada been with her the whole duration of her rise to power? Do you know?
As long as she's
Well,
been
her
in
attempted
Decatur,
rise to
I'm pretty
power.
sure.
Okay.
No, wait. Well, very, very near, very near. Woodard is a born and bred local. Ada moved here from somewhere, or was transferred. This was when the pyramid was still fully formed. But they became thick as thieves pretty quickly.
It'll be an interesting couple nights.
And it will.
Hopefully, it will be a decisive couple of nights.
Hopefully.
And then a well-earned quiet.
Considering our
It'll only
local
be quiet if
Malk-
we lose.
Considering our local Malk decided, hey, we need to have a talk, so we need to head back and go do that. That happened on the way here, but I wanted to share that intel we had gained with you so you can shore up your defenses.
He pauses for a second and steps to the door. Calls Jonathan, Joshua, what did I say his name was? Jonathan back over.
Jonathan!
Get on the phone.
Jonathan.
Give Harmony a call. Let her know.
Emma's ears immediately going up.
Let her know I'm a little suspicious of August. Not my usual level of little suspicious. If I had some actual information that
Paranoia plaid.
Basically that she may want to get somewhere August isn't aware of.
If she needs to lay low, I have a few safe houses in our domain. I'm already protecting one.
Up.
What's a second?
Well, they ain't like anybody in the room doesn't know.
The person he's talking to.
That's fair. Jonathan probably didn't know.
Oh.
He's like,
Oh,
and then
sorry, after the call. Then
no. I like the idea of Kyle screwing this up because he was frazzled. And like that,
well,
Jonathan
he didn't say what clan it was.
I just like the idea of Jonathan looking Emma straight in the face, and then his eyes just moving up to the hat, and just being like, "Oh, of course, duh."
Isn't it obvious? They're dating.
But he runs off to let her know. And tell her Baron Adams has offered a location if she needs one.
Yeah, that one was on me. You can slap me later. It's been a long night.
I slapped you. I'd have to heal you again, and I don't got time for that.
You do look like hell warmed over.
Thank you, sir.
I took three dragon round shots directly to the chest.
I wasn't happy when you became a baron, but I think maybe I've underestimated you. Especially if you pull this off with the lupines, that will be
impressive.
Probably devastatingly effective, but also will put the fear in the camp of Molten. If it succeeds, we'll have to let it get out that we arranged it. We being the anarchs in general.
Yeah.
Even if we could never do it again, at least we'll have to worry about whether we can do it again.
That's fair.
Let's go see what Iola wants.
Yeah, let's go see what Iola wants.
Well, if your Malkavian has had something useful, do please keep us informed. Yeah, and do let Baron Clint know what's going on over on that side of town.
I will.
He gets upset when he's left out of the loop.
He does. I usually hear about it. Is it on our way back, map-wise?
No, he's actually a little further to the west than y'all. He's like across the road
opposite
north,
direction.
And just a few miles further down, closer to Molten, actually.
She'll send him a message. Hey, when you get a chance, I have that book that you were looking to borrow with the information for your research. If you wanted to send somebody,
you get a response
tonight.
back. If you're at your office, he'll send Shelly by to pick it up.
She'll pass on the information to Shelly when Shelly gets there, which hopefully will be after we get back and talk to Iola.
Yeah. Do I need to make more rolls to avoid more people?
No. I'm willing to say that Maddox has plenty of his people out on that side now.
Okay.
And you can have some of Miles's folks like right up there at the border as y'all come out. So.
She'd send a note to Miles and Kincaid about it if they didn't hear the explosion and the gunshots already.
Miles did already know about it. One of Maddox's security people contacted him. Just somebody he already knew, outside of the whole, ranking positions and stuff.
Yeah.
But back at the office.
Miles, as y'all get there, Miles will fall in behind you and get the rest of the office. Before you get in, though, Miles does let you know that, maybe for the next little bit, if y'all leave the domain, an escort, maybe. At least if you're gonna jump out on this
Yeah.
street right next to him.
Hmm.
Hell, if I was them, I'd have snipers on the roof and you wouldn't have made it.
Luckily, they're far dumber, so. But we'll take
Yeah.
it under consideration.
They chase us. I blow up a Primogen's Haven. It's all good.
Have a safe evening. She's just walking out the door.
You do.
So that's imagining like Miles, the rest of the brew hall there, and go, "Wait, you did what?"
All right, the two of you walk in the office. Everybody else is in there.
Everyone's. I feel like everyone's just sitting there, just kind of like looking at each other.
Looking at the
Ada
door.
is pacing back and forth in front of Iola with her notepad out, just with her pencil on top of it. And
Iola
she
and
sees,
Ada
she sees
just
the two of you
pacing.
coming in. Finally.
Well, sorry, I was having a meeting with old Montgomery and others.
Not later. What was the
Said
text
the loud
for?
part quiet.
And then Iola is just gonna dive into everything she saw. As it was going through, as she was going through, that's how it is. If it's discombobulated and it was jumping, that is how she
I
is
bet so.
explaining
Yeah, the
it.
vision was very discombobulated. You got a lot of information.
I think a
And
couple
that-
of times that was like, "Hey, wait, what?" And she just keeps going. Like,
Keeps
hey,
going.
wait, god damn it!
Just
Keep
trying to
going.
record it like on like a phone or something, like the audio.
Tape recorder.
And Ada's hands just fly. If anybody glances over her
has
shoulder,
celerity.
she is it's not celerity. It's just somebody that really knows how to do shorthand. And then as soon as Iola's finished, she starts flipping back and she's looking at the shorthand and then like filling it out long form to make sure she got all the details.
That's a lot.
That part at the end is kind of disconcerting, Ada.
The part at the end, actually, Ada actually stops and looks offended. I do not cry. I do not plead.
And yet,
And yet, she goes around and starts writing stuff down again.
Well,
It might be symbolic, though. It might simply be symbolic. You can never tell
glad
these sorts
to-
of things.
glad to know there's a chance that ploy of mine worked then.
something about the future being in flux seems
Spot on for this group.
scary, but also spot on.
Mm-hmm.
Ada's like, well, she was also looking at a wide variety. She's looking at a very chaotic situation over a citywide scale. So
There's
all
a
sorts of
range.
little things could affect the little things.
Yeah.
This is actually fascinating. Fascinating.
The butterfly effect. I've seen that movie.
Also, Kyle
I'm familiar
not
with the
bringing
theory.
it
I have no
up.
idea what the movie you're talking about.
Kyle absolutely not bringing it up that while Ada is in research mode, she seems entirely fine that Emma's in the room right now.
Emma's just rolling with it. She's too tired to.
She
give a
never
damn.
gets any closer to Emma than she has to.
Yeah, Emma just stays away from her as well. She can respect that.
I think we've all done what we can and called in the amount of favors or allies that we can call in.
Yeah.
Everything's led to this.
Well, if we go out, let's go out blowing up shit.
I already did that.
Figuratively and literally, I suppose.
I was gonna say we did already do that. Well, I already did that.
Yeah. Well,
Well, no,
I
we
will-
already did that too. We just kind of, I think, blew up the haven of the Nosferatu Primogen.
Ada stops writing. Do you know if he was home? If you took out Stafford, that would be quite a blow.
I certainly hope so, but at that point, we had a whole bunch of people in refurbished police cruisers chasing me and myself and Emma on the bike, so I decided, you know what? Screw it. This package has been waiting for a while. Why not send it?
Good enough as any, I guess. Never liked Stafford.
Likely to have caught a group of people there, regardless.
if nothing else, maybe some ghouls.
And at the very least, considering how prideful he was of rising up high from his squalid beginnings,
We
taking
can go back
all
to
of
them.
that out might be a decisive blow to his pride.
I'm sure we'll find out very soon just how pissed off
Probably.
he is about it if he's alive.
Probably.
Well, this has been fascinating, but I have places to be. Ada
Notes
closes
to look up.
her notebook bag, checks the time. I think
What
I've got
time
enough
is it?
time for a late dinner. Oh, it's probably 3 or so by now.
Hmm.
And since
Happy
Emma came in the
hunting.
back, Ada lets herself out the front door.
She'll have to unlock it.
Mm.
She's fine with that.
Well, at least she didn't try to kill me. That's progress. And goes up and locks the front door again.
Well, I did kind of leave it in no uncertain terms. If she makes the attempt, I would be removing her head.
Yeah, she's not dumb enough to attack me with people here. She'll find some way to stab me in the back in a shady alley at some point, I'm sure.
I also told her I'm much closer to eating spirits than you are.
That's true. You did do that.
Twice.
Yes, but when you do it, it's scientific and intriguing. When I do it, it's an abomination and an affront to God.
And Tremere.
And Tremere, which they basically think themselves gods.
I don't know what to tell you.
Not the first person
Maybe
that's
she
hated
just
me.
likes me.
You're an interesting specimen. Make sure she doesn't get the urge to dissect you.
Mm-hmm.
I have you for that.
Walter, you get a message ping not too long after this. From some of the people that you had watching them all. Stafford is leaving in, or Woodard is leaving in one of her cars. Just a regular like 4-door sedan this time. Not this is one that would actually blend in most anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
They would just kind of lean back and be like, right, so when it's moving, not too sure where, but we have eyes on her.
So it begins.
The NOS that sent you that message is like, would you like me to air tag it?
Hell yeah.
And Walter responds, please do.
Just imagine the security of our barony learned from all the shenanigans the hunters did.
Exactly what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Improvise, adapt, overcome.
Yeah, basically.
All right, so in the couple of hours I've got left in this night, is there anything y'all want to do? Any last minute hunting y'all want to try to get in?
We are waiting on Clint's person to come by so we can give them the intel.
Yeah. Shelly comes by to find out what it is y'all. I mean, clearly that was a call that y'all have some information, so she comes by.
And then we share that there's an amassing of Cam and Molten. And that there is a chance that, although don't count on it, there's a chance that they might get intercepted by a pack of wolves.
Oh, she's experienced.
Just don't go that way. Just don't go that way.
No,
If you see a wolf,
they won't.
Just avoid it. Just don't go hug it. It looks friend-shaped. It's not.
Clint had been talking like he thought there was a little more wolf activity out in between, out in the county over that way. But they hadn't been making any moves towards Decatur lately, so.
Well, feel free to let him know I had a talk with them.
Wow.
and they might deal with that problem mid-route.
All right, I bet say she jots down. She's not writing anything, but she will let him know. She thanks you for the information. And let you know that thus far, with all the excitement that's gone on over east, so far there's been nothing out their way. Though, if the cam is getting ready to come from that way, they'll be one of the first ones to hit. So, but she's sure Clint will have all of his people out. So if the lupines don't wind up attacking them, they should be able to let y'all know at least a few minutes in advance before they would be able to get to your domain. Assuming they come through Old Walter Road, which is the most direct route they can think of. Let's see. Oh yes, like I said, anybody got any last minute hunting they want to do?
Nope. Egidio just goes to his haven. And yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Kyle's he's gonna go back to his haven as well.
Emma will call and check on Harmony.
That's right. You've got her phone number.
At least a burner phone, yeah.
It rings and it rings and it rings. And then probably just before it goes to voicemail, an old man answers it. What do you want? Why are you calling me in the middle of the night?
I'm so sorry. I must have the wrong number. No one by the name of Harmony lives there, do they?
What? No, it's just me and my wife. Oh, wait, no, Harmony. No, it's the nurse.
I apologize.
No, she should be here. I don't see her. And he sounds a little out of it. I mean, granted, it's 3 o'clock in the morning, but...
Yeah. I apologize. She must have left her phone there. Or maybe stepped outside for something. I'll call back later, thank you.
When you hang up, he's still mumbling,
She will
like he's gotten a little confused. At first he was just mad at somebody calling in the middle of the night, and then he realized, this is my phone. And, oh, yeah, the nurse should be here. And,
She's gonna contact Maddox. And Vampire can't let him know Harmony isn't picking up her phone. Harmony is not where her phone is.
Damn. He'll send some folks out that way to look around, he guesses, but...
She may have just gone to ground. Maybe it's what we're good at.
Let's hope so.
She'll hang up. And just because she still has the old number for him, she's going to try calling her sire, even though she hasn't ever gotten an answer on that phone in the time she's been running. Just for the hell of it.
It rings and it rings, and from previous experience, it's going to ring about one more time and go to voicemail. Only somebody picks up.
Is full.
Nobody says anything, but it connects.
Paranoia level puce.
Solid pink pimple alert.
Like Dr. Pimple Popper alert.
You're gonna have to remind me of your sire's name, though. I know I've got it written down.
Jacob Bach.
Jacob. That's
She's gonna be like, "Is this Mr. Bach?"
How long has it been since you called this number?
Honestly, probably since she got into city.
Okay, so it was something she was doing regularly until she
Then
got
kind of
caught up
fell
in all the
off.
Decatur shenanigans.
Yeah. And she figured at the same time, he's not picking up. Maybe at some point he'll call me. This is basically a checklist of things to do before I possibly die tomorrow.
So like I said, it rings until the very last possible moment, and then it opens. It opens. They don't say anything. You ask if this is Jacob or Mr. Bach or however you said it. I thought you'd finally given up on calling. It's been months now since you tried.
You never picked up. Figure phone works two ways.
It hasn't been safe.
It's never safe. You taught me that.
Fair enough, but less so than normal.
I'd ask where you're at, but I'm not that naive. I've gotten better with that. Are you safe?
Well, you know we're
As
never
safe
safe.
as you can be.
For the moment, yes. Where have you wound up?
Oh, where I usually wound up in trouble, but no more than usual.
Do you need help? I'm in
Had some-
Mississippi currently.
Oh, you're not too far away.
I'm sorry I didn't contact you.
You had to keep safe.
There were it was safer not to try to take you. I angered some very, very bad people. Well, if you can really call them people.
I think that's a characteristic of our bloodline.
Perhaps.
I'll call you again tomorrow if I can.
Wait, you sound really down. What sort of trouble have you gotten yourself into?
Oh, the usual. I could explain it better over coffee, I suppose, but...
Oh, right, phones. We have to be so careful these days.
Yeah. You remember. 1984, Big Brother.
Yes, yes. I thought that book was
Right.
ridiculous at the time.
Oddly enough, the classics always come back. But the usual kind of trouble that we get into. But I've got some good people around me.
Well, be careful. Trust no one completely. It's always worse when the really good ones betray you.
Staring into the middle distance like, I'll call you tomorrow if I can.
Also, yeah, but one of them literally started a war to get me back, so...
Yeah, she's not revealing too much over the phone because she's not entirely sure maybe his line isn't tapped either.
Mm-hmm.
Be safe.
If I wanted to get closer to you, what direction would I need to go?
If you
East.
showed up east, near... Oh, what's a good general, marking point for the area?
The entire area is referred to as the Tennessee Valley.
That's vague as hell, but it's good. Tennessee Valley area.
Oh, all right. Yeah, you're right. I'm not that far away.
No, maybe we'll have to meet up and catch up one day.
It might be.
Sure, you would get a chuckle out of my friends, if nothing else.
Perhaps I'll head that way. I need to be moving again soon.
Well,
And if you're already in trouble,
again, we're always in trouble. But
wait. I may have an old friend in that area. Well, an old acquaintance.
no. I've ran into someone that you may have heard of. Harmony?
Yes, I'm sure I've mentioned her to you before.
Yeah, ran into her. She's a hoot.
She is. She is.
Well, if you make it out this way, we'll all have to meet up, have some coffee or something.
Well, I'll be sure to answer the phone from now on, at least.
And I'll be sure to call more often. keep safe.
Take care of yourself, child.
Hangs up.
All
and have
10 Salubri know each other.
There's like 7 of us, and we're all on the same mailing list.
Well, 7 of y'all's, and then there's all the Sabat ones.
Yeah.
We don't claim them.
No, we don't. I don't know. They don't go here. And she'll hang up and probably go have a good stare into the middle ground until she dozes off.
All right. Walter,
Cry yourself to sleep.
right before you wind up dozing off, your NOS contact gets back with you. He managed to he tracked Woodard out. She went to some crap. I'm blanking on the ritzier parts of town. But basically, he ended up following him out to a very nice part of town. Apparently, your girl Woodard is into rich people being naughty.
That tracks for Woodard.
It was like her, a couple of her flunkies, and her pet Tremere. I followed him at a distance. I had to be careful snooping around there because the wizards can see us sometimes.
Well,
Luckily, while Woodard was watching the goings on, luckily the wizard was mostly just reading.
No, thank you for the information.
No problem. It's always fun to find out what it is a particular venture has to eat. I've always heard they're picky. I think I figured out Woodard's.
That's a unique flavor, I'll give it that.
But yeah, basically, he lets you know, it was her dealing with mortals, not anything overly suspicious. Though he's amused at what he saw. And with that, the sun eventually rises and you all go to sleep.
And unfortunately, that's what the actual players need to do.
Yes, and we will wrap here for the week. Next
Come
week
back
will
to
be
the
part
Hannah
1 of the
Knights.
2-part conclusion. So, lots of the stuff hitting the fan.
Additional fans hitting the fan.
Additional fans being set up to catch all the stuff that's coming to hit the fan.
Harps involved, and
There's a green screen, but it's just a tarp now.
yeah, it's one of those big industrial tarps, bungee cords. A lot of that, like LA Awesome and Fabuloso.
Those big gym fans.
There's actually a brand called Big Ass Fans.
Oh no,
Hell
we
yeah.
have those at my job. They are giant sons of bitches that are
Kind of terrifying.
Oh yeah, no. I'm afraid if that ever let's go, it's gonna do some damage.
It's hitting
Mhm.
someone.
It'll kill a few people.
Somebody's getting bisected.
That's
A
for me.
few people are getting bisected.
Wow,
It's
this
like
is
a
a
pork
morbid tangent
crushed.
all of a sudden.
Yeah. For a vampire game,
Checks
this is a
out.
really morbid tangent.
I got a buddy whose dad was in the Navy, and they worked on an aircraft carrier, and they watched a guy go face first into a prop of a plane. Talking about bisecting people.
Oh,
Oh
The
god.
crew almost mutinied. They started demanding some safety equipment.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
This was,
Hopefully they did.
This was probably
9/11?
pre-Vietnam.
Oh,
No.
yeah.
Yeah, it's still
Pops is in his
definitely
80s now.
9/11.
Pops is in his 80s now.
Okay,
Like
But it was
this was an old. They were
pre-9/11.
still using some old prop planes.
gotcha.
They hadn't converted completely over to jets yet.
Oh man.
Anyway, weird tangent to get into at the very end. Hope y'all had fun. I enjoyed it tonight. Was looking forward to it after such a long break.
Yes.
And next week, like I said, the next 2 weeks we'll wrap her up, and that'll wrap us up for the year. And then, of course, next year we have voted, and we will be playing Lancer, a sci-fi anime-inspired mecha game,
Yeah.
which
What
is
about
about all the
between-
details I've got on it at the moment.
Sci-fi and
That's
fantasy.
that's not the only thing you have. Like, you got a new player, a new old player.
Oh, I forgot
yeah.
about that.
Yeah.
That's right. So yeah, anybody that's been watching us or listening long term will remember Patrick of the Terrible Mike from the first season.
We gotta take up a collection to get him a new mic.
There's gonna be a
Yeah.
GoFundMe in the YouTube description.
To be
We need,
fair,
like,
though, I
$25.
think a lot of that was his internet connection back in the day,
Yeah.
and he may have
Let's hope
fiber
so.
now. He may have fiber now. I know during COVID, our in-person group went to Discord, and his connection was not nearly as bad, so I think it'll be all right. We'll
I think
see,
it's
but
gonna be
yes.
undulating, and the next campaign is gonna be his connection and microphone.
But yes, we will have 6 players next time.
Woo.
Yeah.
So looking forward to that.
That's gonna be a fun layout to make.
Yeah. Well, I have to do a couple
Oh,
of
that
Make
was
a
it.
6-person and make a 4-person
Yeah.
for when me and Duba aren't here.
And if we're ever short just one particular person, I'm actually going to get a GIF of like a staticky screen, since we're playing a sci-fi game, and just have that
There you
there
go.
where they go. Be
Or like the Fallout loading screen, or
something,
like
something along
test
that
bars.
line. Yeah, something along that line.
Or like if you just make a 6-person one and then just have them say out on mission or something like that. They're
We'll
not with
figure
the
out
group.
something.
Oh yeah, we'll get it figured out. Anyway, hope anybody that came by, we had a couple people come by. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Hope you join us next time. Looking for more games here on Diabear, check the schedule below. There are still more games. We're getting to that time of year where some of the people are wrapping up. We'll be wrapping up for the year in the next couple of weeks, so just check the schedules over. That's all I can tell you. And
I've
we
got
will.
one more in me. For well, just check in. If you like the way I play, just check the other games. I might sneak in there. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh, you guest star. Okay, somebody
Guest
star.
appearances.
Anyway, though, I was your storyteller for the evening, Jason, and with me as usual was Iola playing Rappy, Walter playing Duba. Excuse me, Duba playing Walter. It's late.
No. Depends on the time of day.
Jeremy playing Egidio, Sarah playing Emma, and Eric playing Kyle, and we will see y'all next week.
Bye.